You read the title right. We're gonna flip this one with a laser. We're introducing the Creality Falcon 2 22 watt laser. More on this later. Let's take a look at the piece. We have what I would call either an entryway table or a couch table. Sets behind the couch so you can set things on it, but whatever you call it, right now I'd call it a mess. We have two doors. Center door does not open, but that's okay. Now, this piece came from a good friend of mine, and her husband is career military, so she's moved all over hell and half of Georgia. And this piece was actually in Puerto Rico when Hurricane Maria went through. So the piece got wet on the bottom, and it's missing a piece here. She shipped it back here because she loved the piece. It's not an antique by any stretch of the imagination. It's just a solid piece. It did have a marble top here, but the marble top got broken, and we are going to find something to put there. So, okay, so that is the project. Let's get started. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is take the doors off of this piece. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm trying to pull this little pin out and it just doesn't want to pull out. So I pulled out a set of pliers. I got these off Amazon, and this is one of those tools that I use so often that I've bought 3 pairs because they flip around. You can lock them like this, or they'll flip around and you've got some needle nose, and I find these so useful. I'll put the link for them in the description, but this is one of those tools that have multiple uses. But right now, I'm just going to pull that out. Now what we're doing is we're going to take the panels out of these doors. And I've already started, and it is not a pretty or easy task, so I'm going to show you how I'm doing this. These moldings have to come off, and then the panel will pop through on the front. But as this was made probably somewhere in the late 70s, early 80s, they're in there pretty good, glued, and do not want to let loose. So I've taken my knife and I have cut around the molding on all 4 sides, which I'm not so sure is really helping that much, but it can't hurt to break through that finish a bit. So we've done that, and then I've just got my beater chisels, and we're just trying to get those in there however we have to, whether it be hammered or whether it'll just push in there. And then we're just breaking them off. We'll clean up the edges after we get the panels off. The laser will come in later. A lot of people have these outdated cabinets like this with these big moldings that kind of hark back to that Spanish look. And the cabinets were really good cabinets because they were always really solid. These were built to last, hence why they're still around. But they do look a bit dated, so there are ways to update them, and this is going to be one of them. Alright, in theory it should pop out now. And it comes out just like that. Now we have a door frame, and then we can inset something new in there. Okay, we're going to change out the bottom on this and put some feet on it, But right now, what I need to do is get these pieces of wood off. Obviously, when Maria came through and furniture got wet, it just disintegrates the wood. It looks like from the body up, it's fine, but this pedestal has to go, which is not too difficult. As you can see, the piece underneath is made out of poplar. Took the whole thing apart, got all of that veneer secured back down, and then I went through and put down some paintable wallpaper. And that's going to give the inside a nice fresh look. I've also done it on the outside panels. And I'm going to go ahead and paint that and finish it off, and then put the piece back together, because that just makes it easier for me to paint and do what I'm going to do on the inside. And then when we get to those door panels, we're going to get some laser action going on. So let's get started with this. I've chosen to do this in a navy blue, and we're going to add some gold to it. This is just a navy blue chalk paint that I made up. I just mixed some colors together until I got a blue I liked, turned it into chalk paint, and we're just going to paint this now. And I'm not spraying this week, just decided to do something different and roll it. And again, this is the inside. I've taken this whole thing apart. I bet y'all are wondering, is it going to go back together? Sometimes the only way forward is to go back. But as you can see, having the piece apart and finishing it apart is just so much easier than having to reach inside and through those doors and so forth. I can just get a much better finish without this piece being together. I didn't film putting the wallpaper on because you've seen me do that before. If not, we'll put a link in the description for a video showing how I do that and which adhesive that I use, because I do not use wallpaper adhesive. I use something different and it works fantastic. So if you want to see that video, just check in the description box and there'll be a link for me putting wallpaper on. All through this video, I have been promising a laser, and here it is. We have the Creality Falcon 2 laser engraver and cutter, and we are going to demonstrate how this works. Creality has been fantastic at supplying us with this unit, and we're going to show you what can be done with furniture with it. We get several companies a week sending us offers that they want to do a collaboration with us. I've never actually done a collaboration with a company because I didn't feel like their product was of one, either high quality enough that I would want to introduce it to you guys, or it didn't quite fit the channel in terms of what we do and what you guys want to see. But this product was made so well and is such a good product that I thought, yes, we will do that collaboration with them and I'll introduce this machine to you guys. So the triple monitoring system with 5 safety features really appealed to me. The first one that is really amazing is it has an automatic stop button. So if something goes wrong and you need to stop this machine, you just hit that button down and it stops. It has a key. So if you turn it off and take the key away, Only you have the power to turn it back on. It also has tilt protection. If it fell off the table for any reason, it would automatically turn itself off. It also has the little red filter to be sure that you're protected not to look at that laser. They still send you safety glasses, and I suggest that you use them, but that really does help so that you don't just glance at it and burn your eyes. It also has triple monitoring, and this is for your air assist, and it'll light up, and if there's a problem it'll turn red. This one in the center here will let you know that it's detected fire and the machine will automatically cut off. This one will tell you if the lens is dirty, and you just take it apart, clean the lens, start it back up. The other thing that's really great about this machine is it arrived pre-assembled. The frame was all pre-assembled. All I had to do was hook up the air, which is this simple, and slot it on there. And I had to screw the feet on. That's it. The machine was already put together. They've done a fantastic job with clipping all of the air hoses so that you don't have to worry, are they going to hit your project or, you know, get hit by the laser. They're clipped in very nicely in these little clips. Another great feature with this machine is that it has air assist. So this is a little compressor, and these are your hoses. When you're cutting, you need air to minimize scorching, and Creality has done a fantastic job with adding a compressor that does air assist. It also has a little dial where you can manually adjust your air assist. It comes with a setup block so that you can just slide it down to whatever thickness wood that you will be using. Tighten this up, and you're ready to cut. If you're cutting, you need to get a honeycomb. It doesn't come with the machine, but you can pick them up on Amazon. We'll put a link in the description. And if you are doing any cutting, you will need that honeycomb. If you're engraving, not that necessary, but with a machine like this, you're going to want to do some cutting, I'll bet. The 22 watt power will let you cut 15 mil in a single pass. That's just over 1/2 inch. For this project, we're going to go with 1/4 inch plywood. You put your projects on this little memory card from your computer, and you just pop it in to this little slot. So let's cut some new door panels, bring this piece up to date, make it look fantastic. I should have probably run this a little bit slower, but the 22 watts of power had no trouble cutting through this panel. And with just a slight bit of pressure, these come right out. After all of that cutting, we really need to clean the lens. Using the Allen key that they have provided, you just loosen the screws on the back of the housing and it just slides right out. Now we just unscrew this. And then we'll just clean this little lens here. Screw that back in, put it back together, and we're ready to go. I went ahead and painted the panels blue. I didn't include the painting process, as I'm sure that we've all seen that before. I've put an adhesive on here. I used the Artsyville foil adhesive. And so what we're going to do is we are going to gold leaf the panels that are going to be behind the panel that we've cut. And this will show gold behind that blue that we've painted. The sheets come in, and I just get them off of Amazon. And once you let that adhesive set up for about 20 minutes, it becomes really tacky, and these just stick right to it. Then just take a small brush and just burnish over them very, very softly. Once we're done with this process, we will go ahead and shellac those. I'm just going to use a spray shellac on them, and they will be good to go. Okay, so we got Alex to cut us a insert for the top of this piece. So let's go ahead and go use a laser and put a nice design on it. I'm a technological Neanderthal, but it was easy to use Lightburn to change the design to fit the top. This time I made it make a wider cut, but really shallow cut. I'm using the same design as before, but I changed the settings to make it cut shallow grooves into the top. It was very easy to change this in Lightburn. There are loads of videos on YouTube that will walk you through everything that you need to know about Lightburn. Creality will provide a free trial of Lightburn. Creality have been kind enough to offer us a discount code to pass on to our viewers. If you're interested in that, just click the information tab below and there will be a discount code there for you. Now that we've got this piece painted blue and we have the design cut into the top, I'm going to take some gold rub and buff. I've already top coated the piece, and if you're going to use colored waxes, you always want to top coat first. It gives you more control. But I'm going to take some rub and buff, and I am going to just put it all over the design. And then we're going to wipe that back. And because it's already top coated, it's going to let me remove what I don't want. And then the gold will just sink into that design and just make it pop. So just by taking a rag and some mineral spirits and wiping over that, it will wipe off what is not in the groove and leave what is in the groove. That looks really nice, and it just makes that design pop out. The grooves are quite shallow, so it still will be easy to clean this piece without getting a bunch of dust into all those grooves. Now it's time to put this thing back together. So we're putting in some new screws on the back, because if you'll remember, the screws that I took out were, they were rusted. So we have this piece all finished. I want to say again, thank you to Creality for doing this collaboration with us. And there is just no other way that I would have gotten these panels cut like they are, and they look fantastic. We've got that gold leaf in the back behind it, and it just sets this piece off so nice. We did the gold wax into the little crevices that we cut into the top, and it looks great. Put some gold handles on, gold feet, and I think this just brings this piece up to date. I really like how the top reveals itself when you start walking toward it. The light catches that gold wax in there and just reveals itself to you. Used a General Finishes top coat on this. It'll give years and years of enjoyment. We're going to do another video in collaboration with Creality on this same laser, and it is going to be all about the engraving part of it. So if you've got any suggestions or things that you'd like to see, just put them in the comments and we'll take a look.